everyone. Today I am going to take a lecture of operational research, chapter number 6, decision theory. Okay, so here the topic is the decision making under risk. We have already seen in our previous lecture decision making under uncertainty. So in this topic we have the 5 types of the method: maxi-min criterion, mini-max criterion, mini-max regret, Laplace and Horvitz criterion. Okay, so our today's topic is decision making under risk. So in the decision making under risk, we have the 2 types of the method: EMD method and EVPI method. Okay, so EMD method, that means expected monetary value, we have already seen in our previous lecture. Okay, and today's method is EVPI, that means expected value of perfect information. Got it? So here this method is useful for those decision makers who are having authentic and perfect information about the future. That means in this type of method, the decision maker having authentic and perfect information about the future. So the formula of the EVPI, that means expected value of perfect information, is equal to EPPI minus EMV of best action. Okay. So EMV we have already seen in our previous lecture how we find the EMV, that means expected monetary value. Okay, and here the EPPI stands for expected payoff with perfect information. EPPI, that means expected payoff perfect information. Got it? And the EMV stands for expected monetary value. Okay, so we find the EVPI, that means expected value of perfect information. So first we find the EPPI, after that we find the EMV, and EPPI minus EMV is equal to EVPI. Okay, so here this is the example depends on the EVPI method. Okay, so example is question: a newspaper boy has the following probability of selling a magazine. One newspaper boy and selling the magazine. So here we are given in the number of copies sold and according to probability. Okay, so number of copies sold is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, and the probability is 0 0.10, 0 0.15, 0 0.20, 0 0.25 and 0 0.30. Okay, so here we are given in the number of copies sold 10, so probability is 0.12. Copies sold 11, so probability is 0.15. Copies 12, so probability is 0.2. Copies 13, so probability is 0.25. And copies 14, so probability is 0.30. Okay, so in this question, we are given in the cost price of the copy is 30 paisa per magazine. Per copy 30 paisa cost price. And the selling price is 50 paisa. Okay, so profit is 20 paisa. Got it? So here we are given in the cost price of one copy is 30 paisa and the selling price, that means sold price, is 50 paisa. Okay, and here we are given in the one condition. Condition is that he cannot return the unsold copies. Okay, so for example, the supply is 12 and the demand is 11. So one copy is remaining. So he cannot return the unsold copies. Got it? So here we find the how many copies should he order and calculate the EVPI. Okay, so let's start the solution of depends on the decision making under risk. First we map the payoff matrix. So payoff matrix is first we write the possible market demand. Okay, so possible market demand is 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14 because of the supply is the 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. Second column is the probability already given in your question 0.10, 0.15, 0.20, 0.25 and 0.30. Okay, so next one is the possible supply of newspaper. So possible supply of newspaper 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. So first we map the payoff matrix according to have the profit. Okay, so sometimes for finding the EVPI method, first we are given in already this table is already given. Okay, we find only EPPI and EMV and after that we find a final answer. But sometimes this table is not given. We are given in only the possible market demand and the probability. So first we map the table, that means payoff matrix. So what is the payoff matrix? Payoff matrix is the combination of rows and columns. Okay, so here 10 possible supply of newspaper, supply is 10 and demand is 10. Okay, so 10 supply, 10 demand, so 10 is fulfilled. So here the profit is what? Profit is cost price is 30 and selling price is 50. So one copy profit is 20 paisa. So here 10 copies supply and 10 copies is demand. So the remaining copies is 0. So here the profit is 10 into 20. That means total profit is 200. Got it? Second one is the supply is 10 and the demand is 11. So supply column is fulfilled. So again the profit is 200 because the demand is 1 remaining. So it's okay. If our supply is remaining, then we get a loss. Okay. So here the supply is 10 and the demand is 12. So profit is again 200 because 10 copies are sold out. Okay, next one is the supply is 10 and the demand is 13. So again the profit is 200. Got it? Next one is the supply is 10 and the demand is 14. So again the profit is 200. Got it? Next one is the if supply is 11. Okay, if supply is 11 and the demand is 10. That means what? Here the supply is 11 and demand is 10. So we fulfill the 10 number of copies. So 10 number of copies sold out and profit is 20. That means 200 rupees profit. But one copy is remaining. So one copy's cost price is 30 paisa. So 1 into 30 is equal to 30. That means 200 minus 30 is equal to 170. That means here we write the 170. Got it? Next one is the supply is 11 and demand is 11. So supply and demand are fulfilled. So total profit is 20. So 11 into 20 is equal to what? 220. Got it? Next one is the supply is 11 and the demand is 12. So it's okay, supply is fulfilled. So our profit is again 220. Next one is the supply is 11 and the demand is 13. So it's okay, 11 is fulfilled. So our profit is 220. Got it? And the last one is the supply is 11 and the demand is 14. So it's okay, supply is fulfilled. So our profit is 220. Got it? Next one is the 12 number of copies is supply and demand is 10. That means we fulfill only the 10 number of copies. So 10 number of copies. So profit is 200. Okay. But remaining copy is what? Remaining copy is 12 minus 10. That means 2. Okay. And 2 copies are remaining. And the cost price of one copy is what? 30 paisa. So 2 into 30. That means what? 60 paisa. So here 200 minus 60. That means what? Our value is 140. Got it? Next one is the supply is 12 and the demand is 11. Okay, so fulfilled number is what? 11. So profit is 11 into 20 profit. That means we have the 220 rupees, 220 paisa, sorry. Okay, and the one copy is remaining because of supply is 12 and demand is 11. So one unsold copies is remaining. So one copy cost price is what? 30 paisa. So 220 minus 30 is equal to what? 190. Okay, so here we write the 190. Got it? Next one is the supply is 12 and the demand is again 12. Okay, that means supply and demands are equal. So our profit is what? Profit is 12 copies are selling price and the profit is 20 paisa. So we have the 240. Got it? Next one is the supply is 12 and the demand is 13. So it's okay. 12 copies are supplied. So here again the profit is 240 paisa. Okay, next one is the supply is 12 and the demand is 14. So it's okay. 12 copies are supplied. So here again the profit is 240. Got it? Next one is the 13 copies are supplied and 10 copies demand. So here 10 copies fulfill. So 10 into 20, that is 200. So 200 into 10, 13 supply and 10 demand. So 13 minus 10 equal to 3. So 200 minus 3 into 30, that means 90. So we write here 110. Okay, so we write here 110. Got it? Next one is the supply is 13 and the demand is 11. So our value is what? 11. That means profit is 220. Okay, and 2 copies are remaining. So 2 into 30, that means 60. So 220 minus 60, that means what? 160. Okay, so we write here 160. Got it? Next one is the 13 copies are supplied and 12 copies is demand. So 12 is fulfilled. So 12 into 20, that means 240 profit. But 1 copies is unsold. So 1 into 30, that means 30. So 240 minus 30, that is 210. Okay. Next one is the 13 supply and 13 demand. So supply and demands are equal. So 20 paisa is profit. So total profit is 260. Got it? And the last one is the supply is 30 and the demand is 14. So it's okay. Total supply is 30 and the profit is 20 paisa. So 30 into 20 is equal to 260. Got it? Our last is 14 supply and 10 demand. So 10 into 20, that is 200 profit, 200 paisa profit. But 4 copies are unsold. So 4 into 30, that means what? 120. So here we write the 200 and 4 copies are remaining. So 200 minus 120, that means we write here 80. Okay, next one is the 14 supply and 11 demand. So 11 is fulfilled. So 11 into 20, that means 220. Got it? But 3 copies are remaining. So 3 into 30, that means 90. So 220 minus 90, that means 130. Okay? 220 minus 90, that means 130. Okay, next one is the total supply is 14 and the demand is 12. So supply is 14 and demand is 12. So total profit is what? 12 into 20, that means 240. So profit is 240, but 2 copies are remaining. So remaining copy cost price is per copy is 30 paisa. So 2 into 30, that means 60. So we write here 60. So value is what? 180. So we write here 180. Got it? Next one is the supply is 14 and the demand is 13. Okay. So 13 is fulfilled. So 13 into 20, that means 260. 13 into 20, that means 260 is the profit, but one copy is remaining. So one copy, that means 30 paisa. So we write here 230. Got it? And the last one is the 14 supply and 14 demand. So 14 to jar 288. So 280 profit. 280. Okay. So here first we mark the payoff matrix, because of sometimes this type of matrix already given in your question paper. Okay, so if this matrix is already given in your question paper, so this the solution is very easy, because you calculate only two values and after that you get your final answer. But sometimes we are given in only the demand, or we can say that number of copies, and according to this we are given in the probability. So first you mark the payoff matrix, after that you solve the EMV and EPPI. Okay, so this is the payoff matrix. After that we find the EMV. Okay, so for finding the EMV, we have already seen in our previous lecture how we find the EMV method, that means expected monetary value. And one point is very important in this question. In this question, that means EVPI method, last row is always largest value in all this column. That means this is 200, 220, 240, 260 and 280. 99.99%, the last row is always having the largest value. So after mapping the payoff matrix, we find the EVPI. So EVPI is formula EVPI minus EMV. That means choose highest value according to alternative. Okay, so always last value, we have already seen in the payoff matrix, the last row is in a very maximum value. So always last value multiply with the probability. Okay, so here we are given in the some alphabet 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we are given in the A, B, C, D, E. You here X, Y, Z, D, as you wish. Okay, so for A column, that means 10 column, the highest value is 200. So multiply 200 into 0.10, probability is equal to 20. The second column, 11 number, the highest value is 220. So multiply 220 into 0.15, second probability for according to 11. So 33. Third value for C column, that means 12 number column, the highest value is 240. So according to 12, the probability is 0.20. So 240 into 0.20 is equal to 48. Okay. Next one is the D column, that is 13 number column. The highest value is 260. Okay. So according to 13, our probability given is 0.25. Okay. So we write here 260 into 0.25 is equal to 65. Okay, and the last is E column, that is the 14 number. The highest value is 280. So according to 14, the probability given is 0.30. Okay, so we write here 280 into 0.30 is equal to 84. So first we find the E and V. Sorry. EVPI. Okay, so here sum of all these values we get the 250. Okay, so here EVPI is equal to 250. Okay, after that we find the EMV value. So EMV value, according to every alternative, the EMV value is different. Okay, so we choose the best alternative. So you choose the maximum value. Okay, so we find all these 5 EMV values, that means expected monetary value. Okay, so what is the process? The process is for finding the EMV for A alternative. So first you check the A column that means 10 number column and multiply according to their probability. So 200 into 0.10, because of first column all the values is 200, so 200 into 0.15 plus 200 into 0.20 plus 200 into 0.25 plus 200 into 0.30. Okay, so solve these values and we get the 200. Okay. Next one is we find the expected monetary value for B. So you choose the 11 number column because of we are given in 11 number to B alternative. So you choose the B number column and multiply together with their according to their probability. So first value is 170. So 170 into 0.10. Second value is 220. So 220 into 0.15 according to probability. Third value again 220 multiply 0.20. This is the probability. Again value is 220. So multiply probability 0.25 and the last is again the 220. So multiply 0.30. Okay. After solving this step, we get the values 215. So E and V for A alternative, we get the 200. E and V for B alternative, we get the 215. Okay. So according to this process, the E and V, that means expected monetary value of C, according to this process, we get the 222.5. E and V D, we get the 220. You solve all this step according to this and we get the E and V D is equal to 220 and E and V E is equal to 205. Okay, but we have the best alternative. So all these E and V values, the best value is 222.5. Okay, so we consider E and V is equal to 222.5. Okay, so put both the values in given formula. So formula is EVPI is equal to EVPI minus EMV. So EVPI value is 250. So we write here 250 minus EMV, the best action, or we can say that the best alternative. So we choose the maximum value, all these 5 EMVs. So here the 222.5. So we write here 222.5. So 250 minus 222.5. So we get the 27.5. So this is our answer for EVPI. Okay, so this is the example of the EVPI method. Actually, this method is very easy because of sometimes in our question paper we are already given in the payoff matrix. Okay, so you calculate only the EVPI, this process, and the expected monetary value. But sometimes we are not given in the payoff matrix. So how we find the payoff matrix? So this is the example of this type of the question. Okay, so I will continue this topic in our next lecture, decision tree. Thank you for watching this video.